Jones versus Stipe is happening in 2 weeks, so I wanted to predict how Jones can win and how Miocic can win, and then at the end of the video, I'll talk about my prediction and who I think is more likely to win. So I'll watch a clip of each of them fight, and then I'll talk about some things that I think will come up and will be important in this fight. So let's get right into it. Look at how Daniel Cormier is going to feint for a takedown and then go strike. That is always what Jon Jones does. That's his signature. And I see in this fight coming up, Jon Jones going for a takedown, faking a takedown here, but his real threat will be this spinning elbow going around the top, because that's always what he does whenever he goes in for a clinch situation or wants to feint for a clinch and then goes in to either spinning elbow or a knee. And I see Stipe, he's very reactive, and Jones takes feints and he takes it to a different level where if he sees you react to something, he's going to set it up. Here's another thing that I'm seeing. Stipe has the center of the octagon here, and usually the one thing that I like to tell people is if you have the center of the octagon, don't let it go easily, because it tires out the other fighter a lot faster. I'll give you an example here. So Stipe, what he's about to do is circle to the outside here, because I really couldn't tell you why. But why you wouldn't do that is if you circle around to the outside, he puts his back to the cage over here, and now he's letting Daniel Cormier dictate the pace of the fight. The thing that you want to do whenever you have the center of the octagon is keep the center of the octagon. You don't want to let him escape this area over here. Here, I'll change the color to make that look a little bit better. You don't want to let Cormier escape this area and then go over to your space. So I think Jones is going to take advantage of this as well, on how, watch how Stipe moves and angles to the corner of the octagon, which isn't going to be good, because Jones, in this scenario, Jones is very good at cutting off the octagon and keeping his space within his space over here. So if this was Jon, you're not going to really be able to get out of this range right here. And anything that you do is going to push you back towards the cage, if that makes sense. And then let's say you move over this way. If you're Miocic, all Jones is going to do is turn and move with you, and now he's going to cut off this area over here. I know that might look confusing with those arrows, but I know you get the point, because that happens in almost all of Jones's fights. That's how he controls it, with his range, with his long arms, but also where he puts his feet and how he controls the area around him. And I think Miocic, just from what I've seen in a couple of his fights, this is going to be a thing that he struggles with. But let's keep going. So now Stipe is trying to pressure and cut off the octagon like I was talking about, but Daniel Cormier is doing the third option. Whenever you're circling and circling and circling, you don't have to circle on the cage. You can explode forward, and I just don't see Stipe controlling the same way that he does against most of his opponents. Big part of this fight is going to be the takedown. Watch on how Daniel Cormier leaves no space with this single leg, and he's trying to get under the hips here so he can lift him up. I think Jones is going to be able to do really whatever he wants whenever he's wrestling Stipe. But the question is that extra weight going to make a big difference? I don't really think so, because light heavyweight, you blow up to 230, 240 sometimes anyway. Alright, so now moving on to Jones here. The first thing that I want to talk about is watch how Jones cuts off the ring immediately whenever somebody is backing up. Now you see how Ciryl Gane is trying to move, and now they're right back in the center, and Jones is going to keep cutting off the ring like this. And I think that's going to be a big thing for Stipe if he does try to back up like he did against Cormier. Now you see Ciryl, he cannot go this way. If Ciryl goes this way, he's going to get hit with a left high kick right here, or he's going to get hit with a left hand, and then there's all sorts of bad intentions over here. So Cyryl's only way to escape this is to either go to his left or to go forward, right? Like Daniel Cormier did earlier. So whenever Ciryl does try to go to his right, or I mean to his left, watch how Jones is going to meet him in the center of the octagon. Instead of letting Ciryl gain circle around, he's going to cut him off. And what that means is he's going to follow him this way as Ciryl tries to go the same way. So if Ciryl tries to go, and that's really his only option. Think about it. He can't really go this way. Why would he go that way? Because, like, look, he's going to be met with the cage here. So Ciryl has to go and follow Jones. And now Jones is already dictating the pace of the fight within 30 seconds here. So I think that's going to be a big thing off of what we already talked about. I think another big thing that Jones is going to try to use in this fight is these oblique kicks and the low calf kicks and leg kicks, but mostly these oblique kicks. So we see Jones do a weird oblique kick here. I can't really get a good angle, but he's going to use it kind of like a side kick where you torque your hips, but he does it on your knee. And I think if Stipe gets caught in the same Thiago Santos loop where he keeps getting hit in the knees with these obliques over a long period of time, it's not going to be good if John can pick him apart, rather if Stipe can hit him with harder shots. I think another thing that John is going to be really good at is using his pressure and cutting off the octagon in order to force clinch exchanges like he does with Ciryl here. Because notice here how he uses the threat of striking, like we saw with Daniel Cormier a second ago. He uses the threat of striking up here to mask what he's really doing, which is going for the takedown down here. This looks like a math equation, but you know what I mean. Now watch how John forces this clinch exchange here, and now he's going to try to drag him to the cage. And that's what he's been trying to do with the footwork the whole time, trying to set up the clinch and trying to set up this wrestling here. And I think that Stipe, if he gets caught in this type of scenario with John Jones, wherever John has control of Stipe's legs, and now the 12-6 elbows are legal, once John flattens Stipe out like he's about to flatten out Ciryl here, I think these elbows are going to be where John Jones really shows the difference in this fight. My prediction for John, more than anything, is I probably see a TKO from John as well, probably from elbows. I think John Jones is going to force these clinch exchanges. Stipe is going to back up. And I think if John Jones hits him with those elbows, either in the clinch, on the ground, or spinning from the feet, I think Stipe is going to get cut easily. It looks like he has scar tissue. And I don't think that Stipe is going to be able to get that shot off that knocks John out. If John was fighting Ngannou or maybe Aspinall, I could see him getting hit with a hard enough shot to get knocked out or TKO'd. But I don't think Stipe, he might TKO John, but I don't see it happening. And I think John is going to be creative on the striking, oblique kicks, probably some spinning elbows from clinch exchanges. And I think eventually it's going to go on the ground, and John is just going to hit him with all sorts of mean elbows with mean intentions. And that's my prediction for John Jones versus Miocic. If you guys think that, if you guys have a different prediction, let me know in the comments. I want to know what you guys think, and break it down like I did. I want to know how they win. I want to know what strike do you think they'll win with, because that's the way to make it real fun. And yeah, guys, thank you all for watching till the end. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Later.